Okay, here's the thing. I just got out of an appointment, and I'm not going to say who I was talking to, what this person's name is, but we got to talk about something. Because if you want to enjoy your life, feel motivated every day, love the life that you are seriously living, and being proud of who you are, then you need to listen up. This is massive. So I was at this appointment, and the whole time I was there, the person who was helping me was talking about themselves, and they found out my profession, that I'm a life coach, Enneagram life coach. And so they just started spilling all of these things about their life. And I want to tell you how this conversation went down, because if you find things like this coming out of your mouth, it's so important that you identify this so that you can love the life that you're actually living. So this person started telling me how terrible their life is. They're not motivated every single morning. It's just so hard to get out of bed. It's too cold. And then they dread going to work because their coworkers are so annoying. It's such a toxic environment. It's draining. Then they often are at work for extra long hours, and it's exhausting. By the time they get home, they're not motivated to go to the gym, to do anything intentional. They can't even listen to a podcast because their brain just feels exhausted. And so they go home and they just turn on the TV and they're exhausted. Okay, I'm not making these things up. This is what this woman was telling me. And she was so negative about her life and everyone in her life, her husband, her coworkers, her family, doesn't like the state she lives in, so many different things. And here's the thing, I'm sitting there listening to her, literally like praying and asking the Lord, how can I be a light? But here's the thing I recognize is I can't help someone that has such a fixed mindset. I like to call this, not that I made this up, but it's called a victim mentality, meaning like everything in life is against you. It's happening to you, and your life is just so much harder than other people's, and your coworkers suck. But here's the thing. If that's your mindset about your life can't get better. It really can't. It cannot get better until you start to see it as an opportunity. You could put that lady in the exact situation that she's in with her life and put someone else in that exact same situation as her life that just has a different mindset, someone who's more positive, someone who sees these hardships as an opportunity, someone who sees the season is maybe a season to grind and to push through and to build their character. Put two people in the exact same scenario and you can have completely different outcomes. And this is what's so fascinating to me, is the energy that we carry as humans. So if you're a negative person, you have very negative energy. If you're a positive person, you have positive energy. People want to be around you. Just sitting there stuck in that chair that I was stuck in because I couldn't leave, listening to her talk for 45 minutes straight made me feel so low energy, so disgusting. And here's the cool thing. I didn't have to take on that energy. I very intentionally casted that off of me, but it wasn't like a high vibe environment. I absolutely felt drained and could have been drained the whole day if I didn't let that release and walk away from it. And so my point in bringing up the energy is to think about, what energy do you carry? What type of person do you want to be? Do you want to be someone who's motivated? Do you want to love the life you're living and creating for yourself? Because it 100% starts with your mindset, not your circumstance. And if you're in a season of thinking everyone else's life is better, or some people's life is better, they just had it easier, they're not going through as many hard things, or their husband isn't as terrible as your husband, you're wrong. I'm just going to be that blunt with you. You were straight up wrong. Are things hard in your life? Totally. Life is not easy. I'm not here saying it's rainbows and butterflies all the time. But if you keep believing the story and the narrative that your life is just so much harder than other people's, then it's just going to keep feeling that way. And you're not going to be able to change until you change your mindset. And if you find yourself relating with the lady that I just shared about how her whole life is so negative and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm in such a bad place. Okay, take a deep breath, give yourself some grace, and let's start with some baby steps. How can we start with changing one of your thoughts? What is one negative thought you have? So maybe you're like, I hate my coworkers. Okay, let's start with that thought. And how can you start seeing your coworkers in a different light? How can you start being a leader at work? How can you start having more positive energy so that you create positive energy around you? Start with one thought, one action step, and watch how your life is slowly going to transform. I say slowly because it's a process, but honestly, it's going to happen pretty fast when you just start changing one little thing. And you're going to be so empowered to experience freedom and to see this momentum when you start to get control of your mind. Oh, I want this for you. I want this so bad for you, because I myself have been in so many negative seasons. I just was like the past 2 weeks where I was feeling so negative about a certain circumstance in my life. And I just had this moment where I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm done thinking this way about this situation in my life. Like, this is on me. And just by changing my thoughts, I am not kidding, my life feels so different than a few days ago just because of what is in my head. Okay? So I'm not just saying, oh, be optimistic and act like nothing's wrong. No, take ownership, be a problem solver. That's how you be successful in life. That's how you create a life you love to live, and you can do it. I know you can. So go out there, get after it, take your thoughts captive, really think about, why are you believing the stories you're believing? Ask yourself, do I really want to change? And if you do, then change. You got this.